Hello! Today we are here to talk about a new genre of books I have been getting into and that has been taking over my life. In this selection I've only read a few, but I do have books that I've bought that I'm excited to read that are in the genre to show you guys and talk about the books I've already read and talk about the books I want to read. These are not going to be reviews, these are just going to be sort of like, I like this book because of this and this author is amazing, and pretty much, yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna just start off with saying my new genre is definitely horror. Specifically, I read a lot of Darcy Coates books. I'm pretty sure that's how you say her last name. These are new books I haven't read yet, but I really wanted to get to. But all of these books right here, these are all Darcy Coates. So I have the series I have already read. We'll start with this. The House of Shadows. This is my intro to this horror theme and like this author, Darcy Coates. So I fell in love with this book series. I'm so sad it's only 2. I really wanted to keep going, but like I think it also had like a really good ending. So the series is House of Shadows and House of Secrets. It is a duology about this woman whose family is going bankrupt and her only option is to marry rich, and when she catches the attention of this very rich but very strange and mysterious man that is friends with her father, she pretty much gets stuck into a very uncomfortable situation where she is brought back to his family's manor after getting married to him in 2 weeks, and a bunch of weird things start to happen within the manor, and she starts to experience some haunting elements inside the manor and to herself. And pretty much her new husband and his family are all lying to her about what is really going on and kind of making her feel like she's crazy. I'm not going to say too much about these, but I rated both of these a 5 out of 5. They were very quick reads. I think I read them both in like one sitting each. So I think if you're looking for like a short horror book that's like really good, I highly recommend these. There's a little bit of romance. There is definitely also like horror, very big horror aspects to it, and like suspense and everything. So I really liked this series. I'm not gonna say too much on it because I was thinking about doing just like a book talk on either Darcy Coates books or just like some of the books or like series that she has. Because like I said, I've been really invested in this author and what she has to offer. Alright, this next book I read is also by Darcy Coates. I also got this bought for my birthday from my boyfriend's mom, so I was excited to read it. I did read it very quickly. So it's called The Haunting of Ashburn House, and at first I didn't like it as much as I was proven to like it. Like, this had a little bit more of a slower pace than the House of Shadows, but it quickly picked up within like 5 chapters. Like, House of Shadows starts off immediately, like you're in there. This book, it takes a couple chapters to get into, but then like it's really fast paced, horror aspects, like what the hell is going on. So pretty much what happened is the main character's name is Adrienne. Was that her name? It was her name. The main character's name is Adrienne, and she is homeless and lives in her car because her mother has died, and they just didn't have enough to pay bills, so she was living on her friends' couches, like here and there, and then she receives a letter in the mail with a key and a letter and an address to this house, left to her by her great aunt, Miss Ashburn. And I say Miss because she's not married. And when Adrienne gets to the house, she discovers there are a bunch of like haunting images in the house. Like, not actual like images, but like there's no mirrors, and where there would be mirrors are messages that literally say no mirrors, and there are no lights on the 2nd floor. There are paintings on the 2nd floor in the hallway that watch her as she walks and then actually transform throughout the book, which isn't really a spoiler. It's kind of just like you get introduced to them and you're like, oh, these are weird. And there's just like a lot of mystery of what happens at night, what happened to the original owner of the house, is she really related, why her out of everyone, what is really happening in this house that people are so afraid of it and her aunt wanted her to have. I also rated this a 5 out of 5. Like I said, I'm trying not to go too in depth with these because I have been really passionate about her books and like really want to talk about them. So I'm thinking about doing some book talks, maybe a couple in together. Maybe just, like I said, a Darcy Coates like book talk of books I've read so far. But yes. Alright, so those are all of the horror books I've read so far, like those three, I pretty much just turned me on to the horror category and especially the author. And then I actually have 3 more books from Darcy Coates. I have Craven Manor, where this man gets a letter in the mail asking if he will be a groundskeeper for this abandoned house, and he would get paid and he'd be able to live in like the groundskeeper like little house. And he obviously takes the job because he really needs money, and it's pretty much like a theme throughout her books is that like a lot of these people don't have a lot of money. And when he takes the job and he notices at night that there are lights going on in the house, things are missing, things are moving, but he knows for a fact that no one is living there. So the big mystery of this book is like, what the hell is going on with the house? Is he going to die? Should he have taken this job? Probably not. And pretty much like, why was he brought there? Or like the description of the book. So this is probably gonna be my next read, maybe within like the couple of weeks, whenever I get my other books done that I am already reading. All right, the next one I have is Voices in the Snow, where this girl gets in an accident and is saved by a stranger and is brought into a cabin in the middle of a snowstorm. But then she starts to notice that like he's acting really weird, and then she starts to think, she's like, was it an accident or was it something that was caused on purpose? Did he do it? Why is he acting weird? Something is really off about the stranger that has her in this cabin, and she can't leave because they're in the snowstorm where she would probably die if she left, and like she doesn't have a car because like she got in an accident. So it's just like, there's so many horror aspects to specifically this one, because like I think this girl, I think she's just like a new adult or something, so like it gives me a more horror aspect because I'm now 21, so I'm essentially a new adult roughly. And so I'm like, this is some of my biggest fears of like being trapped on the side of the road by myself and like having to be in some of these situations. So I'm actually really nervous that this is gonna freak me out more than like it might other people. That is also why this book freaked me out, because I think she was like 19 or something and like living by herself and like dealing with things by herself. But yeah, so I still have yet to read that. I might wait until winter to read it because it's October 11th when I'm filming this. But I'm hoping I'll get it read sometime this year. Like I said, obviously I'm loving this new genre, so I'm reading it as much as I can. All right, this next one I also got for my birthday, but I don't really remember what it is, besides it's another Darcy Coates book. Okay, so this book is about a brother whose sister disappeared after going into the woods and trying to photograph something like strange. Like she learned about, I think, some secrets in this wood, and she went to go photograph them and like for evidence. But then she disappeared, and everyone thinks it was an accident and that like she might have been attacked by animals or just like something happened. But when her brother goes into the same woods, he realizes something did really happen. It's not an accident. She's missing, but she might have been taken, and he finds her camera that she brought with her and pretty much has to use the camera for clues to like indicate what the hell happened to his sister. And is he next? Is like, should he be in these woods? Is he gonna die because he came looking for his sister? That's honestly pretty much all I know about this, and like that's all that it really says. Like this has not as much description as like these other books do, so which is strange because it's a thicker, like this is a thick book, but I'm excited about it. But you really don't get much of like what this is. So this one's called Hunted, not Haunted. This is called Voices in the Snow. You can obviously read the title of it, but I never said it. So I thought I'd probably bring that up. All right, so all these books I just showed you are Darcy Coates, an amazing author, pretty much the author that got me into this genre completely. Next, I just have 2 more books to talk about because this one isn't as much as like horror as it just is like mystery. And I'm sure you guys have all seen this because these are very popular on like book talk in YouTube. So Lucy Foley is the author, and I've been looking for this book. It actually took me half an hour to find this in the bookstore because it was on like the top shelf and like pushed all the way to the back, so like I actually had to like step back like 20 feet to like see up the shelf. So this one is The Guest List, where pretty much at a wedding someone dies and the entire guest list is suspects of who could be the murderer, what happened. These people are all trapped. I think they're on an island, so it makes it even worse. Like they're actually trapped. So I I'm very curious about like, how big is this guest list? I want to know, because like the weddings I've been to, which are 3 and they've all been my siblings and cousins, like my sister's wedding was like 400 people, my brother's wedding was 250, my cousin's wedding was like probably like 600 people. So like, how big is this guest list? Like, oh my gosh. Okay. Oh wait. Okay. On the back of it, this actually answers that question I just asked. It's an exclusive wedding on a remote Irish island. So there's the bride, the +1, the best man, the wedding planner, and the bridesmaids. Wait, does that mean the husband died? So they all have a secret, all have a motive, but one is only a murderer. Did the husband die? Because there's only 5 suspects and he's not one of them. I bet the husband dies. This is this is me just like kind of guessing. Like, I haven't read this at all. I haven't actually read any spoilers on it. Like, anytime I see this book on TikTok or YouTube, I just like skip over it because I'm like, I don't want spoilers. So it's actually a really small read, so I kind of want to get into it. I'm trying to look at how many. So 303, there's 313 pages to this book. So it would be a very quick read if I just sat down and read it in one night. So I actually might do some reading vlogs with some of these. The next one is also by Lucy Foley, and it is The Paris Apartment. In this book, the main character is the sister of a half-brother that she goes to live with, and when she gets there, he's missing. Well, not necessarily missing, but like he's just not there. And it's not for a few days until she notices that he's actually missing. And then she starts to ask around like the neighbors, because like he lives in like an apartment complex with like I think 5 other people. And then she starts to notice they all know something and they're all keeping their mouths shut. So she has to do a thorough investigation of where the hell is her half-brother? Like, did he invite her here? Like, did he allow this? Or like, did someone else tell her to come? Or like, what happened? And the suspects of this one are the socialite, the nice guy, the alcoholic, the girl on the verge, and the concierge. I know how to actually say that, but I can't say it right now. But it's like everyone's a neighbor, everyone's a suspect, and everyone knows something they're not telling. See you in Paris. It seems that last, like, see you in Paris seems like a Gossip Girl statement. And not the new Gossip Girl, the OG Gossip Girl. Okay, so this is pretty much the wrap to the video. I just want to share with you guys that, like, I found a new genre that I'm loving. And not because it's just Halloween this month. Like, I started reading, I think I read House of Shadows in like August or something. It might have been summer. I don't quite remember when it was, but like this book changed my life so much, in this author, that literally my whole reading habits just completely changed. It's completely changed. So here we are with a new genre for you guys to hear about. And just because I have a new genre doesn't mean I'm not reading other books. Like, to be honest, right now, the reading vlog I'm doing is The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. Like, you guys know I love Stephanie Garber and like all of her books. So like, it's a work in progress. Like I said, I read half of it and then I just haven't read anything since. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Please subscribe to see like any bookish videos and writing videos. I am also an author of 2 books myself. I don't talk about it very often, but I should. Comment down below if you've read any new genres or books that you want to talk about. I will sure as hell respond because I love talking about books, obviously. Like this video and subscribe to my channel to see much more videos about books and writing. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!